call this commission work session to order. Roll call, Mr. Clerk.
Dominic, Johnson, Williams,
Here.
Lynn, Bowman, Baker,
Here.
Lynch, Escaday,
Here.
Thibodeau, Cox, Smith, Epperson. We have a quorum.
Thank you. Please stand for prayer by Commissioner Cox
Oh,
and pledge by Commissioner Smith.
please bow your heads. Heavenly Father, we come here today to do your work, parish work. Watch over our men and women that's across the country, overseas, doing the work. Please look over everyone that's in your prayers from the tornadoes up north. Help everybody out as much as we can before the holiday season. In your name I pray. Amen.
Amen.
Turn the face flag, hand out to me. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
About time. Where you been?
Under God.
Under God.
Under God. Next item, Mr. Clerk.
Do we have any agenda additions?
Yes.
Yes. Commissioner Cox.
I'd like to add to the agenda today to discuss new business for employees' days off.
Second.
Let me,
Need a,
what we were discussing?
Days off. The
well,
one you always vote against.
Well, I'm going.
a motion and a second to discuss days off for the holidays.
We need actually motion to expand the agenda.
Yeah, motion
Which
to
has to be
expand it.
unanimous.
That's correct.
Unanimous.
Don't do that.
Don't do that.
Want too many more votes.
I'll discuss
Please
it.
vote.
You don't vote.
I'll discuss it.
On second, we just lost.
Yeah, I lost.
something there.
I kill it now, y'all be SOL.
Hurry up, John voted yes, don't make it vote again.
I'll let it be discussed. Not mean. Ain't that mean.
Well, Thibodeau and the posse.
Thibodeau said.
Oh, no.
Mike said.
Stephanie?
Look, Thibodeau's here. She doesn't need to be here. It's the same. Wow. They both canceled each other.
That's true.
Y'all got one, we got one.
I know how to do it. My you know,
I can't get mine.
oh wait. No one can.
Make a motion that we buy a new program.
Yes.
That's what it counts.
No, new seat, because I'm getting tired of whoever's seat over here.
If we buy new stuff, city's got to sign off on it.
You stole my chair?
Two. Ain't got no money. Well, there she's blushing.
Donna done switched my chairs out over here.
Because he needs to get it going.
We've got a problem.
Got a glitch?
It's a computer glitch that's,
Ah.
How much we spend on that system?
Who was blaming it?
How much we spend on that system?
Todd said
Take a hand vote of it.
he would've got, Todd said he'd got a correct system if he'd been here.
Okay, go ahead and record hand vote for the meeting. We'd be done with it.
that's what.
Everybody, it has to be unanimous.
Yo, brother, some love.
Donna, did you
Keep it, I
vote?
know I'm running his kidding. Put your hand down, Woody. Just because you have a seat at the table don't mean you get to eat.
Next item, Mr. Clerk.
Now it's a motion to place it on the agenda.
Okay, need a motion to place it on the agenda.
Don't move. Second.
Moved by Commissioner Williams, second by Commissioner Dominic,
What's the motion that we're putting on the
to
agenda?
put the new addition on the agenda.
Right.
But he needs to know exactly what it is.
He needs to read the motion.
Okay, motion is to let the employees of Caddo Parish off December 26th and December 31st.
Second. That's on the agenda.
It's been moved by Commissioner Cox, second by Commissioner Williams. Is there any discussion, Commissioner Escaday?
I'm gonna be redundant, but you know my feelings about this. We ought to just do away with some other holidays and make this policy rather than expanding this. And roughly, Ms. Bryant, what does this cost the taxpayer again?
Again, I don't have the.
These 2 days, how many thousands of dollars? Lost time, productivity, wages, benefits? Don't have that, but it costs, right?
Be here less than 80.
We feel
Hang on.
the offset from the expenses of the building being closed and other expenses the parish doesn't really see an
If I don't go to work,
We should
if I don't
just
go to
shut
work
that
anymore,
permanently.
then that would offset my house note and utilities and all that. Yeah, never
payroll
mind.
is your payroll.
I'm done, thank you.
Just put it on this.
Thank you,
put it on
I'm
this.
done.
Today.
He got it in, let him do
Put
it.
on the agenda to move to Thursday.
Baker.
Yeah.
Just wait.
Well, I don't want to be like the Grinch that stole Christmas. I'm going to ask that we move this for forward to vote on at least to Thursday. We can make an intelligent decision about what we're doing. I think our employees don't need to show me how dedicated they are to what they do. Considering where we at in terms of how we manage the taxpayers' money, a day after holiday to spend with their family, and a quality of life, it's priceless nowadays because you don't know if you'll be back here tomorrow. We need to spend more time with our family, quality time. So I hope that we at least move to Thursday, and whatever we decide to do, let's do it. Thank you.
Hey, point of order,
Okay.
because all we are is putting on the
Yeah.
agenda.
Yeah,
We need to
That's
have
what
this
I'm saying.
on the agenda.
Yeah, I don't know why they're discussing it right now.
We discuss it later.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. So, hand votes to put it on the agenda. I guess so.
Man, raise your hand.
That don't have to be unanimous, does it?
It doesn't.
Did you get it?
Just get over on Matt over
Well,
here.
he's being consistent, though. He always.
Try the machine right quick, please.
We don't say to,
It says something.
Here we go.
Say, finally.
okay,
Way to go, Michelle.
okay, that passes. Next
Okay.
item.
Before we move on to agenda additions, we have Ms. Brown coming on Thursday to speak to the board. They usually have a resolution to approve their budget. And I guess the question is, do we want to add that today or we want to wait till Thursday?
Add a day and move forward.
We usually have a resolution to approve their budget each year.
This is tourist.
The Tourist Bureau, correct.
Why you want to ruin my year?
Well, it's something we're gonna have to do, right?
Yes.
Yeah, move
Eventually. So can I get a motion? And a
Move to
second?
expand the
To
agenda.
expand the agenda.
second.
Okay. Please vote to expand the agenda. Okay,
Move to place the Tourist Bureau's budget on our agenda for Thursday.
A resolution.
Resolution.
Second.
Second.
it's been moved by Commissioner Lynn, second by Commissioner Dominic. Please vote.
Todd, I can tell you,
Killing me,
my
Smalls.
screen is froze over here.
Yeah. Good movie.
Oh, there.
Just go, okay.
It's ready now.
It won't roll up and down.
Okay, that passes.
My mouse works, your mouse
Okay,
don't work?
next item,
Yeah,
Mr.
my mouse
Clerk.
works, my screen ain't.
Next, we move to citizen comments.
My
I have
screen's
4
moving.
cards. Is that all?
Where's my agenda?
I don't know. I don't have it.
Look. So they can speak on this? If they, okay. Citizens who wish to address the commission must fill out a comment card and forward to the president or the clerk of commission. Comments by any citizen will be limited to 3 minutes. First, I have Brad Schmidt.
No, thank you. You're a hell of a
Mr. Schmidt, please state your name and address for the record.
Brad Schmidt, 4118 Fairfield Avenue here in Shreveport. Okay. I would just like to express my interest for a seat on the Metropolitan Planning Commission. I understand that there are a few seats coming open and that you guys appoint one. I'm from Shreveport. I've lived here 44 years, I guess. I've had the opportunity to live temporarily in other places. I've always had a residence here. I went recently to the Unified Development Code meeting and learned about the things that are happening here with zoning and building codes and development code, and tied that back to several projects that I've done here in Shreveport that were very hard to figure out administratively how to pull off, even small stuff like changing something in your yard. Couple that with seeing all the stuff going on downtown, you see the tech stuff going on over at the Biomed, all the new developments going in. It's starting to happen here. And I know that that's happening with people who have been trying for a very long time. They're Shreveport people, they pushed and pushed and pushed to get it done, and stuff's finally starting to happen. I would like to see the MPC, the commission, the council, the zoning board, make it easy for people who come in from the outside to do the same thing and show up and have a one-stop shop, know how to do it, know who to talk to, and know what the rules are. Because I think right now you see a lot of businesses come to town, you see a lot of creative people come to town, they hit one roadblock and they leave and we never know they were here. So I would like to offer my time and any kind of input that I have through the board to that end. So,
What was his name again?
Brad
Brad
Smith.
Smith.
Next, I have Lavetta Fuller. Hi, Ms. Fuller. Please state your name and address for the record.
Lavette Fuller, 615 Rutherford Street, Shreveport, Louisiana. Hello, I'm also here to express my interest today in serving on the Metropolitan Planning Commission Board. I was active in my community with the master plan. I was very interested in that movement, and I'm also very interested in Unified Development Code. And I see the benefits of planning for our community. Shreveport and Caddo Parish have a lot of potential for growth, but I think that we should be steering it in a way that serves our entire community, inside the city as well as outside in the parish, the 5-mile radius that we would be looking at on the MPC. And I look forward to serving at your pleasure should you decide that's the way you'd like to go. And thank you for your time.
Thank you so much. Next, Mr. Ronnie Bergeron.
Hi, I'm James Bergeron, Jr. I live at 530 Levin Lane in Shreveport, Louisiana, and I'm interested in the Zoning Board of Appeals position that I understand has been open. And the reason I'm interested in it is, one, I'd like to take a much more active part in the community here. I grew up in Shreveport, did live away for different times when in Colorado, Tennessee, Washington, D.C., Baltimore, Maryland, and I wasn't running from the law. That isn't why I moved so much, but I'm involved in construction, which kind of ties in to the whole zoning board and protecting people that, one, don't want something near their place, but also helping enhance the growth of Shreveport and giving people opportunity to utilize their property to the fullest extent possible. I hope y'all consider me for this position. I would like to give my time and effort and make Shreveport a better place. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And I have Mr. Ronnie Ramirez. Hi, please state your name and address for the record.
Ronnie Ramirez, 9967 Trail Ridge in Shreveport. I too am interested in the appointment for the Metropolitan Planning Commission. I believe I emailed each of you a resume, given some of my experience with rezoning properties and development. We have a large development in North Shreveport that we built, which is actually right in front of the Walmart you guys will be addressing today, and currently have a large development project going on just south of downtown on Marshall Street. Also have a background in 12 years experience with customer service, and I think that's some of the things that we can work to change is when some of the developers are coming to the parish and the city to bring their business and bring their projects here, that we need to find more ways to take them by the hand and move the project forward rather than be the hindrance. So I think there's a great balance of protecting the public and protecting the interest of the developers that want to spend their money here in Caddo Parish. So also the MPC is of my most interest, but I do want to serve my community. So if any of the other board appointments are available that don't work out, we certainly would give interest in the other ones. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Commissioner Epperson.
Madam Chair, What positions are open and where?
Well, that's what I wanted to find out.
Who's resigning? Who's
How
left?
many positions we have open?
Just one appointment's open.
Okay, and that's on what now?
On the,
And who is that that's resigning or whatever it is?
on the Metropolitan Planning Commission, there's one appointment.
Ain't no resign.
Mary Jo Ruffin is the incumbent.
She,
She's
oh,
not
okay, so
resigning?
she's not resigning.
She's not
So
resigning.
that seat will be contested. That's what,
That's correct.
this
She's
lady
the
and these
incumbent.
gentlemen?
There are 3 other nominees.
okay.
Okay, and then, or we have a ZBA position or
There's a
something?
ZBA position also.
Okay, and, what's that?
And that's
Who is that?
Stacy Williams, and Mr. Bergeron is a nominee also.
Stacy's
Because
incumbent or
his
she's
name not on
resigning?
here.
She's the he's an incumbent.
He's incumbent.
Point of order.
And- Okay.
I think Stacy Williams has moved out of Shreveport and no longer resides here. If y'all could, Todd, if you could get a confirmation on that for me before Thursday, I would appreciate it. Or if Mr. Smith knows the answer to that question, I see him looking at me.
I don't know.
Okay.
What about,
But
what's his
that was
name?
my understanding, and that the MPC, excuse
What
me, the
about,
zoning board of appeals
Who's
has.
over there?
Oh, Stephen Jean. Stephen
anything
Jean, will you
about
come
these
up to the mic? Thank you, Commissioner Epperson.
He could tell us what's
Stephen
going
knows
on.
everything.
Tell us what's going on.
I wasn't running this man here.
I'm not aware of the residency issue. I will check into that from Mr. Williams. That's first I heard of that today. And as far as the other, we don't have any resignations, although these are just,
On MPC.
the only resignation on the MPC is a city appointment. Dr. Mary Wilson just announced her retirement at the
Right.
last meeting. But these are just up for renewal, the other 2.
And we
I
need to
still
choose
have-
one?
That's correct.
Yeah, you do. I'm sorry, baby. We just need to choose one person
For each
correct.
ward.
That's
Yeah.
correct.
for each one.
One
Okay.
appointment.
And I can get that information before Thursday on the residency.
Commissioner Epps, go ahead, I'm sorry.
Or if he's just hasn't attended the last several meetings.
Oh, Commissioner Lynn. Commissioner Epperson has the floor.
Well,
I
the
can get the
lady called me
attendance as
back.
well, whatever you need.
Don't move, Stephen. Commissioner Epperson.
See my roller skates?
Me too.
Ma'am and sirs, what positions are you all applying for? MPC. And that position is currently held by Mary Ruffin?
Yes.
Okay, and there's no indication that she's resigning?
That's correct.
She know about this?
Okay. All right, let's see, that takes care of that. Now,
Now, one of them
Ms. Wilson,
It's
Mary,
a city appointment.
city appointment, you all aren't applying for that, right?
No, but
It's an MPC position. though.
Parish. We're applying
it's
for the
a city
MPC
appointment.
parish, that the incumbent is Mary Ruffin, right? Okay. One more question, Madam Chair. Mr. Remedies, who is your, whatever it is, who is your commissioner?
My commissioner,
Yes.
that would be Commissioner Smith.
Okay, Mr. Fuller, Mrs. Fuller, I'm sorry, who's your commissioner? Pardon? Mr. Smith, who's your commissioner? Mr. Bergeron? All right.
You just lost. Money
Hey, that's all right, that put him in the same category with Honorable President Barack Obama. Paid him to say that.
Ken, one of those is asking for the
He's
zoning.
asking for ZBA.
Board,
Mr.
yeah.
Bergeron is
Yeah.
Mr.
ZBA.
Bergeron is ZBA.
Rest
Ruffin
of
was
MPC.
MPC.
well, that's what he was asking for clarity.
The incumbent need to go.
All right,
Bergeron.
okay, ZBA, Bergeron ZBA. And who is that? Who's currently in that position or?
Stacy Williams.
Stacy
Jr.
Williams.
Okay, all right. And he's, we don't know whether he's, okay.
We don't know if he's living here or not.
I will follow up on that.
Thank you, that's all I have, ma'am.
Commissioner Lynn?
I would just wanted to compliment all the commissioners here who have replaced incumbents. That's all.
They need to scrap the whole bus.
Okay. Anybody else?
Yeah.
Commissioner Bowman?
Does it matter if the other person is here or not? Or are they aware about this?
You mean the incumbent?
Yes, ma'am.
They need to be here for.
Well, they've already spoken for themselves. Next.
That's right.
If they aren't aware now, that's a different story.
Well, When you say aware, they know that their reappointment is.
Okay, so then it's
They
not
do know
important
that.
then if you're not here. Okay.
Madam Chair, I move we move it to Thursday on both appointments.
It's already,
Hold on. That was
already
just
under consent.
visitors.
Public hearing.
They were just making
Yeah,
comments.
they were just making comments. Next item.
Next we have no visitors, we move to reports, administration report.
Yes. Good afternoon, President Baker and Commissioners. Just have a couple items today for you all. I put at your station a copy of the article that appeared in the Shreveport Times on the 1st. Had to do with panel suggests splitting Homeland Security. And you all know Sandy Davis came before you all last year asking for additional funds because his funding was being cut by the state through grants. And on the 19th of November, I attended the Homeland Security meeting with Mayor Glover, Mayor Walker, Bill Ultimus, the two sheriffs from Bossier and Shreveport, and myself, and we discussed this, and Bossier kind of put us on notice that they would like to separate out the functions of Homeland Security and go their own way. So they talked about this back in 2011. It was a study done by on their part that didn't get any legs. We being Mayor Glover, Sheriff Prater and I, we voiced our objections to it, and subsequently we had further discussion, and Bossier told us pretty much, well, we're going to do our own thing. So seems like we head into divorce court whether we want it or not, and I did talk to Mayor Glover after the meeting last time we met, and he would like all of us to get together on the December 13th, which is an intergovernment consortium meeting, and have this as one of the agenda items to discuss on the 13th of December, what would Homeland Security look like for Caddo Parish, since we look like we'll have to go our separate way. The state law requires that the parish president is the person that is the head of the Homeland Security efforts. We have delegated that to the Department of Homeland Security office in the past. Since 1953, we've had a joint venture between us and Bossier Parish. So since 1953, it's been the same. So obviously that's going to change. In this equation, I just want to make you aware that we all put in a certain amount of money into the pot to fund Homeland Security. The city of Shreveport puts in $175,000. Caddo Parish put in $37,000. And the Caddo Parish Sheriff put in about $14,000. So we pay the bulk of the money on this side for that function. So the proposed budget for 2014 has went up significantly to maintain the current operation that exists today. And by the way, Sandy Davis had laid off people, and I understand that based on our discussion on November the 19th, he has taken necessary steps to notify his staff that perhaps funding will not be there in the future, long term, and some of them opt to leave. So it seems like the train has left the station, and we're headed to a situation that we're going to have our own Homeland Security component on this side of the river. So on December 13th, Mayor Glover, along with the City Council and the Commissioners, we were going to discuss this in greater detail. But I need to make you aware of that inevitability that taking place, that we are going, perhaps they have sufficient funds to take them through June of next year, and beyond that, it will have to be a different kind of operation. Caddo has theirs, and Bossier have their operations. Yes, ma'am.
I have some questions.
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Lynch?
Do you know how much Bossier Parish or Bossier City was putting in?
Yes, ma'am, I do. Bossier Parish puts in $25,000. The Bossier Parish Sheriff Department put in $16,000, and Bossier City put in $57,000. So based on the 2014 budget, the Caddo Parish, being the sheriff, the commission, and the city of Shreveport put in $297,549.82.
Okay.
The Bossier City Sheriff Department and Bossier Parish put in $129,680. So it seemed to me that when we make this decision on how that structure will look like in the future, Certainly, I don't advocate us stepping up and paying for this whole deal. We will still need to have the city of Shreveport on board, the sheriff on board, as well as Caddo Parish. And this fund allocation is based on population.
Right.
And that's what determines who pays what in this equation.
And what about the federal grant money?
The federal grant, and the majority of it will be based on population. We'll get our portion of it going forward.
Okay.
But the concern is even that is being reduced over time. But we will get our pro rata share of whatever those funds will be in the future towards this operation.
Okay. And how many personnel are there now?
There are 4 full-time and 2 part-time. I understand years ago you only had an office of at least 2 people before. But right now they have 4 full-time, 2 part-time, and that number is being reduced as we speak.
So according to this article, well, let me say, you said since 1953, but Homeland Security is kind of a new animal.
Yeah, yes, ma'am. Actually, the Office of Civil Defense was started in 1953, joint venture.
Okay.
On 9/11 came along,
Right.
it changed to Homeland Security.
Right, okay, so it's the same. So according to this article, we're the only one that have a combined one right now. It's saying 62
yes, ma'am.
parishes have
That's
their
correct.
own, and then Caddo, Bossier
Right.
are combined.
Right. And the only concern, Commissioners, I know we'll get into this in greater detail, is when you have evacuations due to storms from down north, from down south, what would that look like? Where would they go? Who would determine that? So there's some things that will have to be figured out in the MOU as to how we would operate going forward. Because, as you know, CenturyTel, they deal with the medical patients that come up from the storm, and then we on this side deal with a different category of citizens on this side.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, thank you.
So, as I said, that meeting will take place. There's a change of venue. It's going to be in the Riverview Theater on December 13th at 11:30 on Clyde Fan Parkway, 600 Clyde Fan Parkway.
That's the intergovernmental meeting.
Yes, ma'am.
I have some more questions.
We
Commissioner
need to-
Dunn?
I'm sorry, I another thought. We may need to have the school board here as well.
Yes.
Saying in this discussion because.
They will be there at the meeting.
Okay.
They're being invited to attend the meeting.
We intend to ask them for some money. That's what I'm trying to get at. And I'm saying that because part of what they do is to enable the schools to reopen. Part of the, if there's some disaster or something, whatever. Part of it, does involve us getting that done so that the schools can be open. So I think they need to be at the table as well when we start talking about funding.
Well, they will be, because this is an agenda item for that meeting that's going to occur on
Yeah,
December 15th.
but you know how our meetings are. So I'm just saying, we want to make sure we have somebody there
Right, I understand.
in some capacity to discuss it,
Yeah. The new superintendent was invited to the meeting as well.
to make sure that we try to include them on the funding end.
Okay.
Okay.
Commissioner Dominique?
The 3 funding sources here in Caddo Parish is us, the sheriff, and the city of Shreveport.
Yes, sir.
Is there any state funding that's
Uh,
available, or is it just federal funding?
There are some state funds that come down from the Federal Homeland Security Office through the state.
How much was that last year? Do you know?
I'm not sure I can get that figure for you, but the state has chosen to keep a greater portion of those allocated funds for their operations. And that's why Mr. Davis's budget is suffering as a result of that, because we got less money at the local level that comes through the federal government.
Okay. And you said that the funding through Sandy Davis' office is good through June of next year, is that what you were saying?
Yes, sir.
And by state statute, the
Parish.
The parish is the one that appoints this or is in control of it?
We have the overall responsibility, the oversight for the civil defense / Homeland Security, yes.
Okay. Well, I'm just thinking. How much did the sheriff put in there? Is he going to be a part of this discussion on December 13th?
Yes, sir, he has to be, because the sheriff is
Will he be there on December 13th?
I
mean, we're sitting here discussing this. I mean,
yes, sir. And
he's being involved in
he
it.
need to be a part of that, because he has a greater role.
We're going to do this. Be sure to invite him there too, please.
Yes, sir, I'll make sure he gets invited.
That's all I got to say.
Commissioner Lynn?
Dr. Wilson, is the anticipated outcome of this December 13th meeting in the execution of the cooperative endeavor agreement to dissolve the aspects of Homeland Security into SPD and the Sheriff's Department?
Actually, as I can appreciate it, Bossier Parish and Bossier City governments are approaching their bodies to recommend that we separate this back out. So by default, when they do that, we would have no other choice other to go our own way as well. So that will be determined in their governing body session when they meet to discuss it, because we did voice our opposition to it. But it didn't matter at the time, because they was pretty much had in their minds made up that they wanted to be separate and not joint.
Okay, I'm going to repeat the question. Is the anticipated goal of the 13th meeting on December to dissolve the aspects of our portion of Homeland Security into the job responsibilities of the Shreveport Police Department?
No, sir.
So it's to
information
to
only.
adopt Sandy Davis all to ourselves?
No, sir. No, sir.
Are those, what are our options?
Now, the meeting that's going to take place on December 13th is to form the leadership on both the City Council and Parish Commission of the impending separation of functions within that office. How we choose to run it will come out of the further discussions on how we best see fit to run it, with all parties participating in that venture on this side.
Do you have a copy of the blueprint to what Bossier intends on doing? Because obviously we'll have to do some aspect of duplicating it.
Not yet, sir. They haven't revealed that to us, other than their intent to go separate ways.
That's all. Thank you, Madam excuse me.
Is that meeting, I guess I'm the president, is the meeting on, at noon, is that what time it is?
11:30. 11:30 on 13th December at Riverview Theater on Client Avenue, 600. Yeah.
You finished?
I'm finished. Thank you.
Commissioner Cox?
The discussion where Bossier just said they're gonna opt out, they didn't give any answer as far as it was a money decision, or they weren't satisfied with dealing with everybody, or, because the scenario I'm looking at, say a natural disaster hits and we're over here doing our number, but yet they're gonna call across the bridge like they normally do and say, well, we need help now. So what do? Tell them no?
Right.
That's...
I would imagine, Commissioner Cox, we would develop some understanding of how we would provide mutual support to each other with the separation of functionality. Before, Mr. Davis was the person that coordinated all the efforts regionally, and we didn't have to consider that because that was his primary role.
Right.
But since that's going to go away, we have to put something in place that would enable us to function with natural disasters from Caddo Parish perspective, with some mutual aid support on the other side to Bossier Parish. Because we are called on often now to provide assistance, like in Lincoln Parish, when they had a storm, we send some help.
Right.
So we have the level of understanding that there may be some times that we have to work together. But they just, and it was predicated on money issues as well.
Yes.
Because the budget kept falling, Sandy Davis' budget kept falling, they kept asking for more money, and Bossier city was pretty adamant that they weren't going to provide any more, because they felt that they were overstaffed, and they reduced the staff, but still money issues lingered, and they said, no, we think we will go our own way.
Okay, thank you.
Commissioner Escaday?
I would think that, or suggest everybody get all the information you can from Mr. Wilson and the Parish Attorney's Office about this and about the history of this office, because we're going to be faced with a decision here of what we're going to do moving forward. It's my understanding that Bossier wants to just do their own thing and have their own man, and they're going to be able to do it and probably save some money. So I'd ask you to research it. I think what you're going to find out is that the state charter, state law, says that it's the parish's responsibility, not the city's, not the school boards, not the sheriff's. The parish's responsibility to have emergency plans in place for natural disasters and things. The parish may assign these responsibilities or delegate them to another entity, which in Bossier Caddo's parish's place, we entered an agreement to combine our resources and delegate it to what is now Sandy Davis's office. What do they call themselves?
Security.
Now Homeland Security, which I've been around a lot long, not as long as Ken and Michael, but I remember it used to be the Office of Emergency Preparedness when Chuck Mazziotti ran it. And as parish president in 2000, I think we had some bad tornadoes that ripped downtown and everything. Well, we had an agreement. They kept a preparedness plan, but I remember riding around with them and the mayor that night as parish president, who was making the calls along with the administrator, Ms. Durham, on what resources would be put where, because it's ultimately the parish's responsibility. Now, since 9/11, all this federal money started coming in, and we went from emergency preparedness to emergency preparedness, Homeland Security. Then it shifted over just no emergency preparedness, Homeland Security. Then they started running around with guns and badges, okay? And instead of just having the plan for natural disaster and coordinating it with the state like they're supposed to, being a small office that doesn't take anything but paperwork and brain power, this law enforcement entity, because of all the federal money coming in. Now, they want to continue it. Federal money's drying up, and they want to take this beast that the federal government and they want us to continue to subsidize it. So I'm saying, let's get back. I don't have a problem getting back to what it's supposed to be. That is having somebody have our emergency plans in order for this parish, in line with the state, which is they're supposed to, reporting with the state, having cooperative mutual aid agreements with the surrounding parishes. Because you don't need a staff of 5 persons and $500,000 to do what? For $30,000 we could probably pay the fire chief in our largest fire district to have the plan. We could delegate it to him, or we could assign it to someone in Mr. Glass's under his office, and they could keep our plan. It's basically paperwork and have the plan of action, because when disaster strikes, they are not, this office, Mr. Davis, it's not the first responders. It's our firefighters, our police, our fire districts, and our sheriff's department.
They're going to do it anyway.
That's right. They're going to do it anyway. And in fact, I don't think these Homeland Security people have any authority or jurisdiction over them. So what we're talking about is somebody that's allowed an office to grow exponentially based on government and federal grants, who doesn't want to give it up. And I'm all for reducing government when there's no need for it. So this is a classic example of us being able to back this down. There's no reason the city should have to put up the money it puts up, or the sheriff or us. Basically, we'd let the Public Works Department do it, or the sheriff could do it, or someone within the parish could do it. But we could get this done, because basically this is a paper pusher who's going to make sure that all the points are lined up. So we'll have the opportunity to decide what we want to do, and whether or not we want to put money into something unnecessarily, and go back to what it's supposed to be, emergency preparedness, because this whole Homeland Security thing was a reaction post 9/11, which I understand, that's basically out of hand. Because they basically come up here a couple times a year and scare us with pandemic data and all this kind of stuff, when it's really not under their purview. So, let's save some bucks. Let's get back to what we're supposed to do. Let's get back to what it's supposed to be. And then we can say to the parish that we're actually trying to reduce government that's unnecessary and redundant. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner, Honorable Commissioner.
Honorable, yes, you remember that.
Don't forget.
Sir.
Serious. Commissioner Williams.
Sir.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. I think enough been said on regards to, it seems like everybody is going to take matters in their own hand. What it appears to be is everybody needs to be cost effective, and we must make worthwhile investments, because as John had said, it went back to speaking from experience as a Shreveport firefighter. You're right. Most of the time, we are the first one on the scene, firemen and police officers and first responders. So, to get back to where we started from as a civil defense, I do agree that we need to try to be conservative in how we approach this, and make sure we don't lose the mission. Why this office was created anyway. I think they had too much going on. You didn't know what the civil defense, Homeland Security, ATL. We had so many duplication of services when they should just be identified as what they do best. Help people in a distressed moment. So I like to get more facts about, before I make an intelligent decision on how we should spend the taxpayers' money. I look forward to this meeting to make sure that we spend this worthwhile on this particular project, and they get back to their original mission of their job and their duty and their responsibility, to be there when people are in despair and hope, in an emergency situation. Things are catastrophic. So hopefully we could spend this money rightfully. So look forward to that meeting and whatever plans you may have. Thank you.
Commissioner Lynn?
Dr. Wilson, will you also invite the senators and representatives that bridge multiple parishes? I know Senator Peacock bridges Caddo and Bossier, and Senator Sherry Chief Buffington bridges into DeSoto Parish, and any other representatives.
What do Senator
And
Tarver do?
that way they might, that way they might be able to work as far as helping us gather state funding so that the parishes can work together to handle this collaborative effort. That's all, Madam President.
Okay, Commissioner Escudé?
One more time, and I would encourage you to maybe talk to some of your counterparts over in Bossier. Bossier's going to do their own thing.
Right.
This is a no-fault divorce. We have no choice. It's not going to court. It's granted. They're going to do their own thing, and that I'm convinced of. So let's not try to drag the bride to the altar if they don't want to be there.
Right.
What we'll determine in the coming months is what we need our office to be and how it would be.
Right.
And I will hope, I'm sure that Senator Peacock or Cheek or Tarver would be interested in giving us all the information and help in the world. But I can tell you, since the state delegates this and specifies it as a parish issue, they will assist, but they're not going to get involved in
No
it.
money.
Okay? So we just need to decide how big an office we need, what we want it to be, the most efficient way. But if you think that we're going to go into marriage counseling with these guys, you can forget it. It's over.
Okay, I'm sorry, Dr. Wilson?
Yes, ma'am. Just a couple more items, ma'am. Just a reminder, Toys for Tots Drive is going to be on December 12th. And we encourage you all to come out. We have a pretty good time at Moffett Mazda, working on filling up those cars with toys.
You have breakfast?
Yes, we did. We appreciate you coming out. Commissioner Cox came last year. You got a chance to...
Every year.
He come every year.
To what?
Toys for Tots.
Toys for Tots.
And I sure would like to have another commissioner there bringing toys besides just me.
Me?
I'm going to be at the animal shelter bringing toys for the animals.
On that day?
Just kidding.
Okay, and last bit of information. She probably don't want me to tell you all this, but I'm gonna tell you anyway.
Her age?
No.
Oh, what now?
On December the 15th, Ms. Erica Bryant will be receiving her MBA from LSUS.
You don't get no more money then.
Yeah, so she's made us all proud. She's done well academically, and it's been her custom being the valedictorian of her class and graduating high. But anyway, just want you all to know that we're proud of her, and more to come on that. And Madam President, that concludes my report for the day.
Okay.
That's good to know because we don't have a problem with her either.
Commissioner Bowman?
Glad you're proud of her.
Yes, Madam President. My question was back in reference to the Toys for Tots.
Yes, sir.
I think Commissioner Cox answered it. What is it that we can do? We can bring toys?
Yes, sir. Bring a
And
toy
so in the
to
past
choosing.
we haven't?
Sir?
In the past we haven't?
I gave him money.
Yeah, we give money, toys, but, commissioners, city council people, they all show up and just bring toys and just, it's
How many the city council showed up?
Yeah, they have.
We joined with the Marine Corps.
The Marine Corps there, I mean.
Okay.
We get some pretty good publicity from the local radio stations. So it's a nice event.
It's the thing
Headed
to
by the
do.
employee council.
Right. I mean,
It's the
naturally.
giving season.
So let's bring a toy.
Hold on. I have no problem doing. I just wanted to know, was there any limitation to what a person can or cannot bring, and what's the time?
It's going to be at 7 a.m. to 9 a.m.
Tell a little shoot.
Commissioner Dominique? I'm sorry, Commissioner Bowman, you're finished.
Yes, ma'am. Thank
Hey,
you.
the employee council is the one that sponsor this, so Mr. Dumache is in charge of that. He usually comes every year and kind of asks for us to give money if we can, so
Okay.
open up your checkbook and help out if you can. So. Or you talk to him if you want to get involved. I think he can tell you a little bit more about it.
Are you finished, Dr. Wilson?
Yes, ma'am, I'm done, ma'am.
Next item, Mr. Clerk.
Next, we have communications committee reports.
Commissioner Lynn?
I either wanted to ask Dr. Wilson or Ken Ward, what is the pedestrian bicycle class that's going on this week? Where is it and what time is it?
It's a design class headed up by the NLCOG. NLCOG is the transportation authority for Lake area. And Commissioner Lane, as soon as I get back to my desk, I'll send you the email that state the time. It's going to be here downtown on Texas.
Isn't it this week?
I believe so. I had to check.
Like tomorrow? Ken, do you know any more? They moved it to the 10th?
Ken, what's going to be at? It's, oh, okay, I'll get you the police thing.
Okay, if you could, I'd like to say it over the air Thursday because it's available to the public.
Okay.
Thank you. That's all, Madam President.
Commissioner Williams?
Thank you, Madam Chairman. Commissioner and other, I received a call from the gay and lesbian community regarding, do we have any policies or ordinance that regard discrimination against gays and lesbians? Do we have a policy like that at all?
No, sir, not that I'm aware of. We can, I mean, mostly federal laws govern that, but I'm not sure on that.
But do local governments provide any protection or discrimination against people of the sexual preference or the gay and lesbian? Do we have any policy that states anything?
Not that I'm aware of.
If not, let's research it and see what other cities and municipalities has regarding the protection of the gay and lesbian community in the workforce, in the workplace.
Yeah, I know as a practice, we don't discriminate in our hiring.
Well, we need to have something right, because you
I think our policy isn't right.
Since we don't have a union or anything, we don't have those type of protections. So if we don't have anything, there are other cities, municipalities, and counties across America that do have these kind of policies in place. If we don't have anything, we need to catch up with the 21st century and find policy to protect people from being discriminated against because of their sexual preference. We need to have something right.
In our hiring practice, this gentleman,
But it could happen. It could happen. You know, we could put ourselves in for a potential civil rights lawsuit or anything. The best to be proactive and not reactive. All right?
Okay.
That's it?
Yeah.
That's it?
So you
Commissioner
wouldn't-
Williams?
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Commissioner Cox?
Mr. Everett, could you come up, please? Mr. Everett? I got a call, I've got another meeting this afternoon, and they wanted some answers, and you probably know the answer. The gentleman that shot the dog in Southern Hills in front of the little girl.
Yes, sir.
What did we do? Was he arrested? What happened
Right now, it's pending litigation, sir.
as far as what charges are against him?
It was handled initially by the Shreveport Police Department. That he was charged for shooting the animal because it came onto his property.
It wasn't a vicious dog. From my understanding,
Well, it was just a nuisance coming back and forth, so he took action in his own.
So is that gun? So help me understand what could be his penalty?
Well, it depends on if the judge wanted to charge him or the DA wanted to charge him with aggravated animal cruelty. Then at that point, he could face some stiff penalties and possibly 1 year in jail.
Okay. And do we have any say in that, or is it just strictly out of your hands?
Well, we didn't initially do the charge. The Shreveport Police Department did, but we'll probably be called in as a subject matter experts to be able to talk about exactly what the law entails in the report that was filed that we have on record, sir.
Do you know if they took that gentleman's gun from him?
Well, no, sir. There's nothing in the ordinance that says that we can.
I didn't know if the police department took it from him or not. So.
No, sir. I'm not aware of that part.
If you would, keep me up to date on that.
Yes, sir. I'll forward you the report.
Thanks, sir.
Yes, sir.
Commissioner Bowman?
This a little light, though.
Yes, Madam President. I just wanted to state that the Animal Service Committee met today at 2 p.m. And
that's a good point.
Before I go there, on the 22nd, before the break, members of the committee visited the East Baton Rouge shelter. The East Baton Rouge shelter, where we were able to review and see some of the policies and meet with the director there, as well as a person who was also over spade and neutering. The other two sides. Also today.
How was that?
It was a great, interesting experience to see comparing and contrast. There were some things that were similar. Also, there are some things that are different as well, considering like the adoption area and things of that nature. But it was very productive and progressive.
Good.
And so,
Y'all were bold to go that day.
Repeated, ma'am, I'm
I
sorry.
see y'all were bold to do that day.
Oh, we were, but we flew with.
We knew you wouldn't show up
I fly
chicken.
with
Yeah.
Jesus, so I knew we were covered.
Good, okay.
Yes, ma'am. Also, we met and set a date to review the proposed ordinances and as well as the what else to review? What they propose for amendments for us to review. And we're meeting with Attorney Frazier on the 12th of December at noon to discuss the proposed amendments, as well as our next meeting date will be December 16th at 2:00 p.m. as well.
Okay.
And so it's been very productive, and I hope that it continues to go their way. Also, I have something even better to talk about. I'd rather show you better than I can tell you. Let's look at the video that NBC6 did covering our trip to East Baton Rouge.
Oh, okay.
Parish.
Y'all at Channel 6?
No, sir. This is just a video presentation. Do not start with me. I'm a professional.
Bow wow.
Thank you, Mr. Hopkins.
It ain't running yet.
Well, I'm thanking him in advance for
A little something for the effort there.
ain't working.
How much we pay for that system? Somebody's headed
Not
back.
coming through, we'll just have to do it on Thursday.
They're headed back to the back to look at it.
Okay.
We'll come back to it, let's move forward. Yeah, we all know you love dogs and cats, Joe.
Okay.
Okay.
Wait a minute, here it comes, here it comes.
Tom will
When
come
they
here.
get it, we'll get it up. Commissioner, if that was it?
That was it, Madam President. I appreciate you for allowing me to give that report.
Okay.
Here we go.
Oh, well, Tom, maybe you ought to be commission clerk.
Look at God.
Tom ought to be.
Wrong commission clerk, we just appoint him Homeland Security.
15 cents, and you're in charge of Homeland Security too, Tom.
Hey.
I'm come back and value it.
Miss Elisa.
In other words, we don't have
Tom, come back and turn the volume up.
try it again on Thursday.
We almost got the vibe.
Yeah, it's hard to do everything and have committee meetings before and be ready.
Yeah, they knew what they were doing.
By nearly 30%.
It's not coming through. Try to get on Thursday.
Okay, thank you, Brother Hopkins. Thank
We'll be
you.
prepared for
Commissioner Lynch.
Yes, there will be a policy and procedures meeting immediately following the work session.
Thank you. Anything else?
That's it.
That was all?
That was short.
Next item.
Have President's report?
Just want to put some emphasis on Ms. Samuels leaving us. She's retiring on December 31st. Boo. Boo. And we're gonna, I want you all to join me in making this be a very special event for Ms. Samuels for the work that she's done for us. And we all know, all of us have done a little traveling during the times, and even other things, ran for office and different things, and inside the commission, and and whatever we needed help with, or whatever we needed support with, we could always go in that office and ask Vita for some help and support, and she would do whatever she needed to do to make it be elaborate and elegant, and I mean, just worked out real nice, and she always made sure we got where we were supposed to be on time and got back where we were supposed to get back on time. And so I just want to make this be a very special occasion for her. We will be doing a reception for her on January 6th out in the foyer at 1 p.m. And you'll also be getting some more information from me on this event and this on the occasion for her. So please just join me in helping me to make this be a very special moment. It's going to be a sad moment. Hate to see her go, but we all know that she's got to go sometimes. So just want to make it be very special for her, and I appreciate for your support on it. So thank you very much. Commissioner Escudé.
I just want to clarify something you said, Madam Chair. Ms. Samuels has been very attentive to serving all of us as far as our official parish duties. She has never assisted me in my campaign or done anything that was not directly related to my office or hers, nor would she have if I'd have asked her to.
I said inside, I didn't say outside.
Inside, outside, well, I just want to make it perfectly clear that she's well, the utmost integrity. And even if I'd have been tempted to ask, she'd have told me no.
I don't think she would have told
I guess she'd have told me no, because if I'd have asked her to work on my campaign, it would have been legal. She'd have told me no.
No, I'm saying like running for president, or, I mean, not president, running for police jury association
You
or
didn't make that
region.
clear. You said elections.
That's why I said
inside. Just wanted to clarify.
You need to learn how to listen.
It sounded, we all listened, and everybody kind of went,
Inside.
can't believe she's saying that. I just wanted to clear the air. That's fine. Thank you.
The following views are not the views of this network.
Okay. The only one that knows.
It's a disclaimer.
Commissioner Williams.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. I think when I first came on, I asked Ms. Samuel what she was doing up here. And,
She said the same thing to you.
Exactly. She really did. She really said that for real. Let me just say, with a hip-hop culture of job hopping, most people don't get a chance to stay on the job and retire. What that does, it says a lot about our employees and the type of benefits we offer here at the parish. Because serving in government office is not about the reward or the finance. It's about the commitment of serving in public life. It's a thankless job what she does, trying to manage and work with 12 commissioners with different background, diversity, and the mindset. So to manage all this brain power up here and manage all these attitudes, it takes a special person to work for any government body. And I just want to commend you on your journey to life. That's a second life after this. You know, God doesn't have a retirement plan, but people do. So you will still be working, I know, in the church, in the community, doing your wedding planning. Don't look forward to planning for me no time soon. But I just want to say
You'd be a good customer, though.
They'd slow pay you.
But to just maintain and stay on the job this long, it's very rewarding in this culture that we live in. And I know you probably could have went anywhere elsewhere and made probably more than what you make here. Right. So I just want to say, you know, you never know. We appreciate you. Appreciate you being a mentor to me at times when I was young, didn't know my way to the bathroom up here. You and others like Commissioner Epperson and even John and Mr. H and others and Hersey Wilson and even David Wyndon came to my rescue as a young man up on this commission. And I want to just say publicly thank you for taking me under your wings, even though I'm a little hard-headed, but even though I did listen. So just publicly want to say thank you.
Okay, next item.
We have no old business, we move to new business. Zoning case appeal P1513 regards to ordinance number 5373 of 2013, 5700 block of Louisiana Highway 1 North. Walmart Real Estate applicant and appellant.
Move to Thursday. Second.
Okay, this is a appeal for stipulations, not the whole thing, so y'all know on that one.
Moved by Commissioner Dominic, second by Commissioner Williams. Is there any discussion? If none, please vote.
Just move.
We're moving to Thursday, yes.
Authorize resolution number 74, amending the rules and bylaws of the Caddo Parish Commission, Article 12, travel policy.
Move to Thursday.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Lynch, second by Commissioner Bowman to move to Thursday. Is there any discussion? If
Madam
none,
Chair, I'd just like to, usually when we, put some on the agenda, usually come out of the committee before.
We're having a committee meeting after this meeting, so we just moved it to Thursday, and we'll make
Yeah.
final action on it Thursday.
we've already, point of order, we did have a committee meeting about this. We just need to take care of one little part, I think. Okay. That passes. Next item, Mr. Clerk.
Authorize resolution number 75 of 2013, requesting and authorizing administration to establish and implement an internal audit system of the NGOs.
Move to Thursday.
Second. Been moved by Commissioner Lynch, second by the chair, to move this to Thursday. Is there any discussion? Don, please vote. That passes. Next item.
Authorize resolution 76 of 2013, approving the 2014 Shreveport Bossier Convention and Tourism Board budget.
So move to Thursday.
That's not what they say.
Yeah, that's what we added to the agenda. Remember we had an agenda addition for this resolution earlier?
Move to Thursday.
Second.
Been moved by Commissioner Lynn, second by Commissioner Williams. Move this to Thursday. Okay, that passes. The next item.
Authorized December 26th and 31st as holidays for the Parish of Caddo employees.
So moved. Second.
Moved by Commissioner Cox, second by Commissioner
That's what I'm
Dominique.
looking for.
Is there any discussion?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, sir.
I just don't see.
Like always, I
Push
have.
your buttons if you want to talk.
Oh, look at that cute smile, huh? Boy, that's
Oh,
all
she
right.
get on you, boy. You just, it's just like every year, this time of year, I'll never change my way of thinking on this. We have employees that work for us, throughout the year, to show my thanks for the, work they do, and also the citizens of this parish, at times, if they would do the same thing. And I just ask that we can give these 2 days off and, send our thanks to our employees. Thank you.
This is just a move to Thursday, right?
Yes.
Yes.
So, Commissioner Bowman,
Ditto to Commissioner Cox.
okay, I'll wait till Thursday.
Okay,
Please
let's vote.
vote.
Okay.
It's to move to Thursday. That passes.
Authorize Ms. Stacy Brown as a visitor to present Shreveport Bossier Convention Tourism Board 2014 budget.
So move.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Epperson, second by Commissioner Bowman. Is there any discussion?
We're gonna leave that old
If
crowd
not,
on
please
the
vote. Next item.
We have consent agenda.
Just for a point of order, on Thursday, have appointments for any of these other boards, we make the appointment on Thursday.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Oh, point of order. What days did you mention?
26th and 31st.
26 and 31st.
Tuesday.
Is there a problem?
Okay.
We got family members that vote.
Move to adjourn.
Move to adjourn.
We got family members that vote.
All through, you just go home.
It could be.
Pretty good.
Oh, where you gonna do that?
Hey,
Come on,
Well, let me ask you,
Yeah. Sorry. Couple of quick questions.